Hey guys, so it's been a minute since I've done a War Thunder video, and this is the Object 279. Now, I figured I might as well do it since we're in this quarantine bullshit and I had nothing else to do, and I grinded out getting the Object 279. I used a little bit of the marketplace to get some things that I just was not getting due to the randomness of the drops. Anyways, I managed to get the 279. I'm not as lucky as some people who got the rental from Gaijin to actually play all four of the vehicles, whether it be the new little Puma, the Corsair, the ship that you can get, or the 279. So I had to grind them out myself, and I don't believe I'm going to be able to do it much more to be able to get any of the other vehicles. I don't think I'm going to have time to build another rocket because I'm just not going to have that amount of time to actually grind out. I had enough to get the 279, and that was the one that I wanted due to what it is. Now, if you don't have the ability to actually ground out everything and you really want this tank, you can get it off the marketplace. I don't know what it's at right now, but do I think grinding this vehicle out, was it worth it? Yes and no. So I wasn't able to get the IS-7 when it came out, and everybody knows how expensive that thing is on the marketplace. It's over $400. I'm not buying that. That's stupid. Now I was able to get this tank without having to spend something like that, and I wanted a vehicle from an event that is rare and stuff like that. Now I have a lot of rare vehicles, but nothing like this. Most of the rare vehicles that I have are relatively lower tier to mid tier, nothing like the Object 279. So I wanted a vehicle that was along the same lines of sought after like the IS-7, so I went after it. Now, this tank being an 8.3 at rank 6 is going to be fighting vehicles at 8.7, 9.3, 9.0, stuff like that. The bane of this vehicle's existence is more modern rounds like fin stabilized rounds, AP, uh, FSDS, stuff like that. And they can go through this tank's armor relatively easily. More conventional rounds such as APHE, APBC, stuff like that, they can't get through it as easy because of the angle that the armor is. It's effective armor for fighting rounds like that. Now I'm not saying you can't bounce fin stabilized rounds because you can. I have before. Just saying it's not as common. You'll also notice that this tank has a skirt around the outside of the hull that gives it its more like beak. It gives it its angle. You'll see it get blown off occasionally in the video, and it gives you a better idea of what I'm talking about. Or you can just do the armor viewer and see what I'm talking about. But I wouldn't count on this every single time. But since that is kind of like ace-based armor, I have had it detonate heat FS rounds and making it not actually pin. It's a random thing that happens. It does not happen very often, but it does occur sometimes. This tank being a event vehicle, like I was saying, it only gets 2 rounds APHE and high explosive, so you're not gonna get a more higher pin round. This tank under around 400 meters is going to have over 300 millimeters of pin. At 500 it has 294, and having a decent reload at 11.1 seconds, but having a higher train crew, you're going to have something kind of like 10.3 like mine. That mine's not the best, but mine has a fairly high weapon reloading skill and some stuff like that. So I don't have an expert crew on it. I just have a fairly decent crew. So anyways, getting into fighting other vehicles at the same tier and lower, you're going to be a menace to other nations in this tank because of what it is. Fighting stuff like M103s, if they're not shooting the heat FS round and they're shooting stuff like the solid shot or anything like that, they're going to have an extremely hard time going through you. Now, most of the time when you're going up against somebody and they know they can't get through your frontal armor, they're just going to aim for the gun or shoot your breach. Now that happens for leopards. I've had like leopards will shoot for the gun or if they can't see anything else. A leopard with the L44 120s, that is a dangerous tank for this vehicle and well anything that shoots APFDS. But that's one of the main things you're going to be fighting. So that Gepard was tearing me up, and you can see how he blew off the skirts that I was talking about, and he lit me on fire. Now, that was not an engine fire, that was a fuel tank fire. Do not waste your fire extinguishers on a fuel tank fire. I'm going to call them pylons because that's what the tank tracks and wheels are mounted to, basically. They're the fuel tanks for this tank. The fuel tanks aren't inside, they're outside. And being self-sealing, they will put themselves out. You don't need to put them out for you. I shoot this dude in the front. that is the first time and the only time that I have shot anything and it did not kill them in one shot. Now that is a TAM, and he put one through the front of my turret and killed one person. Now he really didn't do a whole lot. He'd need to shoot me more than once, but I hit his transmission. And that being said, that is one of the rare occurrences where I shot someone and it did not one shot them. But he was not going to go anywhere. That round hit that transmission and it is gone. He is going to have to be sitting there and repairing that. So I would have killed him anyways, but he put one through the front of my turret and I couldn't turn it. So I let my other guys kill him, which was probably the best idea. Here in a second, I'm getting ready to get nuked by G91 here and right there. So on to the next one, which is the same map, but more daytime. I pretty much go to the same spot and go through the same area that I was going to before. As you can see, that was a Rad Cam fucking 90, which is something you're going to see a lot in this vehicle at this battle rating. And there's a few Object 279s in this game actually. And I've noticed that you're going to be, if you're playing around 8.3, anywhere from 7.3 to 9.3, you're going to see a lot of Object 279s in all of your games. And you're just going to have to learn how to kill them. And if you're in a more post-war vehicle that can shoot these more modern rounds, just knock out their gun, shoot them through the upper plate. Don't shoot them in the sides. I mean, the armor is weaker on the sides, but it's more highly angled. If you can just do it with an AP FSDS round, just shoot through the upper plate. I mean, you can do it. It's not going to be that much of a struggle, especially if you're in something like a Leopard A1A1 with the L44 or anything shooting something like that. So, moving on, do not get caught in the open with this vehicle and end up getting hit by it, because like I was saying before, this 130 millimeter round will nuke you, and everybody should know that pretty much. If you're at this tier, the Russians have very deadly APHE rounds. Now going on with the rest of the event, like I was saying, if you are playing it and you don't really have any desire to get the 279 or any of the event vehicles, and you're just playing and you're getting a lot of these shipping containers with the materials that you have to craft into other materials that turn into the actual things that you need to make the rocket, do what I did and have all the leftover ones that you had and other ones that you're just getting while playing during this time, and turn them into the final product materials that you need to put together the components to build the rocket. But don't put the rocket together if you're not going to set it off, because if you can't sell the rocket on the marketplace, just take the materials, sell the materials on the marketplace, and use the profits that you get off of that to buy you something from the marketplace, because that's what I did. You can get like camos, you can get other tanks, decorators, whatever you want, but what I did was I took I think 20 to 25 bucks pretty much is what you can make, well, what I made off of the extra pieces and other ones that I had gathered, and I bought the Whirlwind P9 and the QF37 RAM, which decent for me. I like them, but you can save up. I don't know how much, if you're just saving them up and not actually wanting to make the vehicle, I'm not sure how much you would actually get during this time, because it's going to be random, but I am going to tell you, you can make more than you would think, and you would be able to get a vehicle anyways without having to buy anything whatsoever. You can still get some kind of event vehicle, or a vehicle if you just don't get anything of the 4 that are in this event. You can still get you something, so I like that. So I did not realize that most of their team was behind me. I thought there was more that were going to be in front of me and beside me, but I ended up getting killed by a KBZ-70 here in a second, because I was doing a dumb thing and I did not realize that they were going to be behind me. Anyways, I get killed by this KBZ-70, and we're going to be moving on to the next game, where I cut off the front part of it. As you can see, it's already been started for quite some time. And the only reason why I'm down in the water is because I was sitting on the bridge watching everything, and we had a lot of vehicles, more smaller vehicles like M50 Antoses, T92s, Sheridans, Bradleys. They kept showing up on the closer sides and corners of the map, and they're bigger, more well armored and armed vehicles were sitting towards the back sniping, so they really wasn't pushing, and our team got every flag at the beginning of the game pretty much without much fighting from the enemy team. So there's an M50 Onto sitting right there, and I guess that detonated off the gun or something, because that killed the tank immediately. I don't know exactly what it did because the replay of what the round did to the vehicle never showed up. So here comes a Bradley, and hull break him, and me and this T-55 are going to be pushing up this side. Now, I'm not trying to spawn camp, but I was going back here to get rid of the vehicles in the back side of the map, so I didn't have to try to snipe them. I don't get the best zoom, and I didn't really want to try to outrange them. I mean, I'm in a 279. I feel like with the armor that I had, because I noticed that the people that were in this game weren't super higher battle rating than me, so we had quite a few 279s on our team. I don't even know if one of them got knocked out. I just know that we had a lot of them in this game. Yep, there it is, M901. That was one of the ones that I was trying to find back here. He actually took out the 279. ATGMs fly right through this thing's armor as well. You're going to see here in a second, I'm getting ready to get shot on the side and shot quite a few times by a vehicle that's shooting more conventional rounds. It's going to be a T95. It's going to be rolling up that hill here in a second, and he's going to shoot me in the side. And I'm fairly certain that he was thinking that the pylon fuel tank area was the side of my vehicle, and it's not. So he's gonna light me on fire here in a second because he's gonna shoot me, and I made the mistake of shooting his gun mantlet, but it's whatever. It's whatever. I'm not really worried about it. When I realized what he was, and he shot me again, lit me on fire. So what I was trying to do by shooting that cupola, I was trying to shoot it and have the round detonate and kill him that way. And then I realized here after he shoots me again and it ends up breaking my gun, and I'm trying to spot him. So I thought the T-55 was closer than he actually was, but he wasn't. So he shoots my gun and I have to repair it, but I'm not really worried about him killing me, so he's just going to keep shooting me in the side. I got 3 out of my 4 tracks broken. He's not really causing a big issue right now, so I'm kind of just waiting. And like I was saying, I remember this vehicle had very good penetration for the APHE round and how much armor the front of the T95 had. So when he pulls back up after I repair the gun, I just send it right through the front of his tank. Like, Swiss cheesed it. It just did not matter, and it one-shots him. So if I was in like a different tank, like the T-55, AM, the other premium 8.7 that you can get for this rank 6, and I shot the front end of a T95 with the AP FSDS, it probably wouldn't have killed him in one shot. So I was trying to detonate it again off his cupola right there, and he's going to pull up thinking that I can't really go through him, but then it came in my head I can just shoot through the front of this dude. So I nuked him, and he's dead. So I'm going to have a BMP come up here with me, and there's going to be a Conqueror that's going to be lower down there near the rocks. And I kind of feel bad for this BMP because I don't think I got him killed, but I also don't think he should have pulled up there in front of that Conqueror and got himself killed. But the Conqueror is going to be sitting down next to that rock right there, and I'm trying to shoot the roof of his turret and detonate it again, but you're going to see what happens when I shoot it. It flies through it and detonates on the other side, and I get his radiator, but I mean, that really doesn't do shit. So Conqueror kill him. The Conqueror has a rather long reload compared to this vehicle, so I'm going to reload before him, and I'm going to wait on him to come back out. And like I said, I wasn't trying to spawn kill these guys, but I believe the Conqueror and some other vehicles back here in the back that people are fighting now are the ones that did not move up like the rest of their team did, like the faster vehicles, and we're trying to remove them from their areas right now. And I didn't want to get flanked by something, I don't know, like a Bradley or something to shoot me in the back of the turret or the ass by an ATGM. I really didn't want that, so I'm going to keep checking out that spawn back there. The Conqueror is back out. He's looking at me, but he doesn't fire, and I put one through his lower plate, and he's dead. So the game is not going to go on for much longer. I'm kind of just going to hang out in this area and back up there was an M103 that managed to get past everybody and make it to B. So he is, I don't know where he's at the moment, but I'm going to see him before he dies or right after he dies. But nothing really happens for the rest of the game. So if you played the Space Race event special game mode, you would have been able to get these paint buckets where you had to collect either 5 or 10 to make a camo for the 4 vehicles, 5 to create ones for the ship and the small little Puma, and 10 for the Object 279 and the Corsair. And I was trying to create it and sell it on the marketplace. I wasn't gonna like astronomically jack up the price, but I was also trying to see how much profit I could make off this event. But I wasn't able to. For some reason, I wasn't able to sell it, so I just kept it, and I like it. I like the camo. But like I was saying, just if you have no desire to get the 279 or any of these event vehicles, just sell the materials on the marketplace for a profit, and then buy you a different vehicle that is on there. That's what I would do, or a camo, or whatever you want. But anyways, guys, this game's over. With second place, not the best, not the worst, but if you want to see anything else, let me know. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, please, because a lot of people watch me, but don't subscribe, but they watch me. It's weird. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.